Hey everybody, we are live. It should be 12 noon.
High noon.
High noon. It always takes a little bit to pick up an audience here as we go live, so we'll just jump on and say hi. I'm Mike Wendland.
And I'm Jennifer Wendland.
And we are live from southeastern Pennsylvania in the town of Souderton, and we are at Fretz RV. And Fretz RV is the oldest, one of the strongest road trek dealers anywhere. They began... It's 29 years ago, December 7th.
29 years.
So we are here. We've met these guys several times before in Louisville. We've met them at
Hershey.
It's a beautiful day outside.
Yay, the rain stopped.
We're inside only because it's kind of cold.
Windy.
And it's windy. Now, we're going to talk today about all sorts of stuff, but primarily winterizing. So ask your questions, type your questions under comments there, and we'll be able to have some of the experts here at Fretz talk to us. We are in their showroom right now, and this is part of their showroom. Hi to Dan Halliman, who is on there watching, says we're looking good. At least we don't have any wind noise. So let's wander through and cameras, and we'll show you. This is actually the sales part, but the showroom for Fretz RV. And we'll go inside and get ready to go. So again, we're going to talk primarily about winterizing. Wait, let's say hi. Here's some regulars from the road trek group. Hi, this is.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, Kathleen Denishire.
Arifin Danishar.
And you guys are part of our road trekking group,
Yes,
right?
yes,
on
we
Facebook.
are.
Well, we're on live right now. You'll be able to watch it taped, or you can
Okay.
watch it now on your
Right.
on your laptop. And you're getting some repairs done, right?
Yes, Macerator pump. Just humming and needs a repair.
Yeah, that's after a while. How old is your road trek?
6 years old.
6 years old.
But we only have it 1 year.
And then where are you headed next?
We're going south to warmer climate.
Yeah, you guys just right. And you're from where?
Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
How far is that from here?
What's a 1 hour ride?
Wow.
We're close to Allentown.
Close to Allentown.
Yes.
Billy Joel made that town famous, right? Allentown?
I think so.
The Billy Joel song. Well, we'll catch you
Thank
guys
you.
later on. That's
Have a
great.
good day.
It's always fun when we come out to meet some folks. This is the showroom, and let's introduce you to a couple of people. Let's go find Steve Fretz. We can. Steve's over here someplace. There's one of their. There's Steve.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Steve. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
We're doing really well. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing
Thanks
good.
Thanks for making us welcome. I was just telling everybody that you guys are one of the oldest road trek dealers anywhere in the country.
That's right.
How many
We
years?
are 29 years.
29 years starting when?
December.
I see we got Rocky
19.
playing in the background there.
Yeah, right.
Kinda
It's
like a
it's
typical. That's great. And you guys, you sell all sorts of stuff. I see some towables, but lots of road treks. You sell a lot of Class Bs.
Class Bs, road tracks, basically everything from a pop-up camper to a Class A motorhome.
Now, how's this time of year for you? This is the season is sort of coming to an end. What's keeping Fretz RV busy these days?
Yeah, you know, we just came out of the Hershey show. That was very successful for us, and that gives us a little bit of a surge to go through the fall, which would typically be a little bit slower time of the year.
So you're doing a lot of winterizing?
We are doing a lot of winterizing. We are doing a lot of winterizing.
Yeah, well, that's
Tis the season.
Let's see, we got a question from Daryl Cummings. Where is this location? And we'll announce it. This Daryl is actually right there on Steve's shirt, Fretz RV, and is it Souderton?
It's Souderton. We're basically just north of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And this is southeastern part of the state?
That's correct.
Yep. And big area. All right. So we are going to find some of your folks to talk to. We're looking for. Let's talk with Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Meyer. This is good.
Mike
Steve,
Myers.
thanks for making us feel
Oh, you're
welcome here.
welcome.
Steve, you'll be a special guest on our podcast next week, and we're going to talk about how people can make sure they get the best deal when shopping for an RV.
Let's do it, Mike.
That'll be fun. Well, we'll be back. Catch you on later. Let's go over to Mr. Myers, Mike Myers.
Hey,
That
good
is his
morning, good
real
afternoon.
name. That is
That's my
really
real
your
name. That's right. Not
That's
to be
not a
confused.
Halloween name.
Not to be confused with any kind of Halloween stunt or the Canadian Mike Myers.
Yeah, but this is
Austin
Mike
Powers.
Myers from Fretz.
Right.
All right, we got a question. Well, here's somebody. Robert Devar says, "Do what I do about winterizing. Move to Florida."
I'm there with you. You can see this. This is not happy weather here.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a
So-
beautiful day today here.
It's pretty. Yep.
So let's talk about some winterizing questions. The first question everybody always asks is, when do I have to winterize?
Well, when I describe it, I like to err on the more conservative side. The typical answer is once you're going to have a freezing night consistently through the night, you want to be winterized prior to that. If you hit 30 degrees temporarily and then you bounce back up the next morning, not so bad. You can still let it go. But once you start hitting some consistent temperatures below freezing, you want to start winterizing.
Now, how about if you're if it's it's down to 28 or so, but you got the heat running in the unit and you're moving around? Is there any immediate need to do that if it's going to pop back up into the 40s that day?
If you're in the coach yourself and you're heating it and your temperature, you're not going to be comfortable unless you're probably 65 inside. So that's a big helper. That's going to keep all those immediate areas radiated with a little bit warmer temperature. So I'm going to say you're okay for something like that.
All right. Mike Myers, there's a million ways to winterize.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now we're in front of, let's see, we're in front of a Roadtrek
170 Verso,
180.
right?
There, I am.
170.
170, yeah. Did I say a 180?
Yeah, 180. It's new model, new model.
That's a new model that they
Yep.
just came out with, yeah. And that's different, of course, than the Sprinter models and different
yeah.
than the earlier ones.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But walk us through some of the basic steps in winterizing.
Okay, so as a basic proposition that's going to happen on any of these units, you're going to need some non-toxic antifreeze, not car antifreeze. This is what we're talking about here, a food grade type of antifreeze that won't hurt you. It's going to go in the lines, it's going to come out of the lines when it's time to de-winterize. You can get this at any RV store. You can get it at Fretz RV right here if you want to make the drive to Souderton. But otherwise,
Walmart sells them.
there you
as
go.
well.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to use. How much do you need?
You're probably going to need between 2 and 5 gallons, would be my estimate. You're going to need to get about 2 gallons in there to get the pickup lines working for the pump and everything inside the Roadtrek.
Now, there are a million ways to do it. Some
Oh,
people
yeah. Oh, yeah.
add a bypass valve and suck it through that way.
Right,
Others
right.
put it through the fresh water tank, some through the city water. What is there a right way and a wrong way?
There isn't a right way and a wrong way. What's right and wrong about it are getting all the water out so that it can't freeze, expand, and break your pipes.
So tell me how you guys do it. You for example, you must have, you got dozens of RVs here. You got to
Yeah.
winterize all of them.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? You must have some system, and many RV dealers have a system that makes it a little more efficient.
Sure. For us, it's, you're talking, it's not one RV, so it's 5 gallons times 100, 200, 300 units. So Steve has a system where they've pressurized a little cart, and they just have this pressurized cart that has its own 12-volt pump on it, and it'll push through the city water fill, and that'll make things very easy. Now, first they'll drain all the water out, so you don't have water and antifreeze mixing, and then it's a little bit easier to tell when it's properly filled with antifreeze because you'll get a solid pink coming out of the faucets.
All right, and we want to tell everybody back home who's watching us that if you have a question that you would like Mike to answer or Steve to answer, or even if you got one you want Jennifer to answer, Jennifer's out looking at stuff back there, just type it as a comment right underneath there, and we'll get some comments on it. But this is about the time, Mike, that we start to have to winterize. Is that right?
Sure, it is.
Unless we live in Florida.
Yeah, unless you live in Florida. That is the nice thing about a motorhome. I always say you can turn the key and drive it to where the temperature is nice and don't have to worry about winterizing. But
All right, so there's a couple ways to do it. The Freshwater Supply.
Yes.
Where's that found on
Okay.
these things? How does
so
that work?
let's take a look at this particular unit. Your unit might be different. On a Roadtrek 170 Versatile. Hey! Hi, Brian. You've got a gravity fill right here, which is going to go to the main tank that is going to feed the system for the product. So, Jan, in one of your, also a great resource is the actual roadtrek.com website.
Right, they actually have instructions.
Yeah,
for
they have
every
instructions
model
for
and
each
every
model.
So
Yeah.
So you'd put some in this city fill, this freshwater fill.
got
You would
it.
just pour
Yep.
antifreeze in there.
Yes, and if you have a funnel's going to always be a good idea. Otherwise, it's going to be spilling in here. So you would run the funnel, and Jan had a great product that he had in his hands. He's one of the engineers at Roadtrek, where it screwed onto the lid of the antifreeze and literally just poured right in 1 gallon at a time with no mess or no spill. So if you get 2 gallons in there, basically your water pump is going to pick that up and run it through the system for you automatically without having to get in there when we talk about a million ways to winterize a Roadtrek, the water pumps are hidden. When you're talking about a van like this, we have very little space, and who knows where it is, whether it's easy to access or has a pickup line on it. So I think the easiest generalization is to put water in this tank, run the pump, suck the antifreeze through the system. Now before doing that, you would want to evacuate your lines, all your low point drains and your water tanks and things like that. Evacuate them of water prior to putting this antifreeze in the
So
pump.
then you turn on the faucets until the pink stuff, the antifreeze, comes out.
Right, so you're going to use your own 12-volt pump. We're going to have some water in here. Go inside, flick on your 12-volt pump, open up the cold side. Once you start seeing pink, you know that that line is coated with antifreeze, and you can close that line. Go ahead, go to the hot side next, and run that. Now, one note about talking about the hot side. One thing we do want to do before we run through the hot side, we want to, if we have a conventional hot water heater, and again, this is going to vary according to which Roadtrek you have, whether you have an Aldi system, whether you have a Webasto system, or whether you have a conventional hot water. So a conventional hot water system has a plug. You're going to need a specific socket to get this out. That is an anode. It's a sacrificial piece of soft metal designed to collect impurities and rot the piece of metal rather than the interior of your tank.
And that comes right out.
Yeah, so basically it's a plug. We pull the plug, we drain the water out, we can go ahead, close the plug, and many of the models will have a bypass section right on the back of the hot water heater. So we close the inlet, close the outlet. Now our hot water heater is empty, so no water can freeze and expand, and the antifreeze goes around it and comes out of the hot side of the faucet. We open it up till we see pink, and then we know that that line is also taken care of.
So we've taken care of the inside lines, we've taken care of the hot water thing, and then many of them have a shower outside as well.
Yes.
And people forget that, but
I know they do.
need to do that as well.
You need to remember that. And if you have a particular Roadtrek model that has an aisle shower, you also will want to remember you are going to run all these faucets. As you're running the faucets, it's coating the drain traps with antifreeze. But if we have the in-floor drain trap, we want to take the jug of antifreeze and pour a little bit into that drain trap just for extra measure to make sure nothing can freeze there.
Now, this is a task that everyone can do on their own.
Absolutely.
You certainly can come to a dealership and get it done.
Sure.
Many people have asked, okay, I go back and forth to warm weather during the year. Do I have to, how do I then de-antifreeze, get the de-winterize, get the antifreeze out?
I like to give people a confidence and say it's simple. We're just going to get that antifreeze out. Remember, it's a food grade antifreeze. It won't hurt us anyway. But it's just going to not react nice to your hands. It's going to be sticky. So we basically go in reverse. There's only a couple gallons of antifreeze in this system. So if there's still a little bit in that fresh tank, drain the petcock, close it again, run water through the system, and go ahead and flush it out so you see no pink until you have no stickiness, and then you know you're ready to run again.
And then when it's important to remember when you come back to cold weather, though, you gotta
do it again.
All right.
Yeah.
Lots of people too use these all year round. Jennifer, I
Sure.
camp all the time in ours,
Yeah.
and there's no difference. You just instead, when you want to flush the toilet, you pour antifreeze in. And use that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, Mike, you made it sound a lot easier than I could have done it. So I thank you for your time on that, and
Oh, you're welcome.
we'll kind of go from there. Mike Myers, and it's the real Mike Myers.
The real Mike Myers,
Yeah.
not one of those
Happy
imposters.
Halloween, though.
Thanks.
The great. It's Mike Myers from Fretz RV, and Steve. I think I'm going to bring mine around and have it all winterized before we go. That's good. That's good. Steve, how many units will you guys typically winterize in a year?
Oh,
in a
geez,
season
you know,
like
we
this?
have it called our Winterize weekend, and we do an express Winterize service, so customers don't have to drop off and come back another day. And we do it like an assembly line, so we pull in about 10 technicians and do like a pull-through Winterize service, and on that particular day we'll do about 80 to 100. And we do that for 2 days, and then if the customers can't work into their schedule either of those 2 days, we just do a regular appointment schedule for them. And then in addition to that, we have approximately 350 of our own RVs that we have to winterize. So we get lots of practice with it, Mike.
All right. I'm looking at some of the questions that are coming through. Peter Hildner's on there, and he says, what are those awards in the wall for on the wall? Well, these are all recognition, outstanding achievement sales awards from various dealers. There's from Roadtrek to Jayco.
Our Roadtrek ones are on the wall right up there.
All right, look at all these. We'll show you. This is your trophy room, and there you go. #1 towable dealer. They sell towables and lots of Roadtrek awards. Yeah, and there we go. One of the top Roadtrek dealers in the country. And you can see how many years that's been going on. And then the top 10 dealers. And the 7th of December, you have been a Roadtrek dealer for 29 years,
Yeah,
which they tell me is the longest. Well, Jennifer and I are going to wander around and take a look at the place. Steve, thank you so much for being with us and letting us feel so welcome. It's fun. We've met some of our people on the blog already here, and we're going to wander about. Up and let's see. All right, guys, it's your turn to ask us questions as we wander through. We should probably go outside, Jen, and walk through and show everybody how nice the lot is out here.
Are you ready to get blown away?
Yeah, well, we'll see if we get blown away. We've got lots of people. William Brown's online, and he says that his is all done. And Peter says, hi, Jennifer. Glad to see you. So Peter Hillner came on. And here's your chance to talk to us as we kind of wander through. We are in the, this is always my favorite part. Anytime you go to a dealer, this is where you get all the cool accessories and all the neat gadgets and gizmos. They've got a pretty big display here at Fretz, don't they?
They do?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something here that we need.
There's probably a lot of things that we need. It's kind of fun to wander through. Hey, I'm using this new Steadicam thing, so we don't have jerky video with this. Nobody's commented on that. I'm using my brand new iPhone 7 for the thing. Now I do notice. Look at behind me. See, on this is with Facebook Live. The showroom under there, it's mirrored. It's backwards. It's just a problem that Facebook has when they set up Facebook Live. Love the story about Bo running through Trader Joe's, says Peter.
I went back about a week later and I was shopping and I said, last time I was here I had my dog. He was doing some shopping and the young man waiting on me started laughing. He said, I wasn't here that Saturday, but I heard all about it.
Yeah.
Bo will probably be legendary.
We talked about that in our podcast a couple of weeks ago. And that really was pretty funny. Hey, we're standing in front of the Antifreeze display here for winterizing. You can see a bunch of it. I have about 4 gallons. I always keep one for, for refills. And I haven't done mine yet. I'm not going to do ours till after we get back from Florida around Thanksgiving. But lots of people heard that Bo story. Let's see, Anthony, we bought our Zion about a month ago from Fretz RV here. And yeah, it is a great dealership. These guys have been around a long time. William Brown tells us it's sunny and calm in West Michigan today, so that's good. We had nasty weather.
It was awful yesterday. Fog and rain, hard driving. You wouldn't let me drive.
Yeah, Jean says, nice non-jerky video. Well, thank you, Jean. That has been fun. I think we're going to stay with Facebook Live. The only problem is like when we're driving a car. It's reversed. It looks like when I'm on the passenger side, it looks like I'm on the driver's side, and everybody was freaked out by that the other day when we did one.
Well, you're capable
while we're driving.
of Facebooking and driving at the same time.
No, you should never do that.
I know
you should never do that.
But,
well, let's wander out in Souderton, Pennsylvania. Down out the door. And this is the outside part of Fretz. Fretz just celebrated its 70th anniversary. And it's kind of an interesting story. This is really the third generation. Fretz, who you met earlier, is the grandson of the founder who began this in 1946. And then his dad ran it for a long time. And then Steve now has taken over. I know it's pretty noisy. I don't know if that wind is picking up. If you hear too much wind noise, you're gonna have to tell me, and we'll kind of move.
We'll go back inside. Tell them it's too windy.
Tell me it's too windy if it's if that wind noise is picking up. So that's pretty good. So anyway, it's a third generation dealership, and they sell not just Roadtreks, but they sell also here. There's a couple of E-Treks, Roadtrek E-Treks right there. There is an SS Agile, and you can see they also sell some of the bigger guys. There's a Class A, a couple of Class A's, a Winnebago. They sell leisure travel vans, but you can see they're one of the top Roadtrek dealers in the country. There's a 190. There's a couple of Zions here. Zions have become really big and popular. So there, I think we're pretty good. Good. Dan says that we sound fine. Sorry. You must think you were cold and want to go back inside. Let me just actually turn around this way so that we have the sun on us, and hopefully that's not going to pick up too much noise. And we'll keep this going for a while. I can hear the wind, but hear you just fine. Hope that's not too bad right now. Any other questions that you guys have? Now's your time. Somebody asked in one of the earlier things, where's Bo? Bo is not with us on this trip.
No, Bo is with our daughter and granddaughters.
Our daughter was the chief instigator who gave us this puppy as an unexpected present, and that was oh well, it was kind of a crazy time. And he's now almost he'll be a year old in a month or so, and he still has way too much energy for us.
He wouldn't have enjoyed this trip.
Let's see, we've got a note from Trish, who's just joined us. She says, we emptied the gray and black tanks and put antifreeze in the whole system. Should we run the macerator again to allow the antifreeze to go through the pump? It wouldn't hurt to do that, Trish. You wouldn't have to do it very much, just enough to get some of that pink stuff through there, and you're probably fine. Question from Peter Hillner, have you ever thought about getting the 210 popular? I guess you mean for Jennifer and I. Well, we have been kind of Sprinter fans ever since we bought our first one, our used one. We bought a 2006 5 years ago, and we have just liked the Sprinter because we can move around in it. It's taller. I like the 210. It's wide-bodied. It's a really nice one. I would take any Roadtrek I could get. So they're all good. The Sprinters have been kind of our favorite. So hope that that kind of answers the question. We've had the RS Adventurous, we've had the E-Trek, we're now in a CS Adventurous, and actually this one right here that we're standing is the one that we're borrowing. This is the XL E-Trek. This is kind of a loaner for CS Adventurous is up in Kitchener, Ontario, and they're doing some work on it.
And they asked us to test a couple of things in this one.
Yeah, we're testing out some top secret stuff.
Do they want to see inside? It's very spacious. You want it? Well, we can go show a tour if everybody wants to see it. We're happy to do that. I have trouble finding parts for my 2001 190. Do you have a good source for parts? Well, I would start with Fretz RV. I just was across the street. We can walk over this way and I'll show you at their service center, and they have a bank of folks on computers, and they're helping with parts. And you could ask them, you could give them a call. They could ship a part out if they have it for you. It's Fretz right across the street there. That's their service dealership over there. Call Roadtrek.
Yeah, the best thing to do for parts is to probably call Roadtrek directly in Kitchener and have them talk to you. Let's see, great look at dealer Mike. Now back to finishing up yard work. That's Bill Brown up there is doing yard work, so that's pretty good. Well, I'm going to wander through. I'll show you this E-Trek that we're using. This is now the longer version of the E-Trek, and it's a really nice unit. Let's switch cameras here again. This is has the 4 seats. It's got the 2 up front, the driver and the passenger, and then it's got 2 seats back here. And this is really wide open. I should have removed some stuff.
Should we have tidied it up a bit?
We should have tidied it up a bit.
Oh dear.
So you walk them through, show them, tell them about it.
Oh, well, there's not much to tell. It's nice and open. We've got windows here, nice airy look through. Our granddaughters were thrilled because we have the 2 seats, and ours we just have 1. And of course you've got the smaller refrigerator.
This really is the wide open floor plan that they have on this. And of course you can see they're all, it's much different than the CS that we have. The microwave is down here, and this has the smaller refrigerator which then gives you this very wide open area with lots of windows and space. And it really does feel very spacious as you wander through this vehicle. The colors, it's light, it's a cheery in here. We really like this.
We're happy.
We're happy. This is one we're just testing out though. This is actually going back, I think, next week. Hey, everybody always likes to see what it's like. All right, well, I am about done with this. I'm not seeing any more questions, and I think we are going to hit the road after we say goodbye to the folks here at Fretz. We are going to be making our way back to Michigan, and then we're home for a week, and then our next trip is, where are we going next? I never can follow up. Where are we headed after?
Florida.
Florida. Going back down to Florida.
We got to see our grandkids in Georgia.
We're going to go see our grandkids in Georgia.
We have to go to Georgia, do a grandkids check, and then Florida.
Somebody wants to see the bath. You want to show them the bathroom?
It's the same as all the others.
It's the same as all the others.
It's the same.
It must be
Same
dirty.
As any, no, it's same as any other sprinters.
Yeah,
it's the same.
It's the same. All right. Hey, thanks a lot. There's been lots of you watching. It's a beautiful day. It's a little cold.
I gotta say, what I'm missing is all our hooks, our little soap dishes, all those little things that we added.
On our own, on the CS?
On our own.
Yeah.
When you get a different one and it doesn't have the paper towel holder and things like that, you miss all those little things that you added, that you just take for granted.
Yeah. Well, again, we're using this. This is just a loaner, and we're testing out a couple things that they're doing with the batteries for them. If anybody can break it,
we can.
We can. Yeah. If anybody can break it. So, but that's going back to we have our normal CS Adventurous XL. I think we'll have that next week. Now let's see. Dan says, "Be safe. Thanks for the video." Judy says, "Love the windows." Yeah, the windows are really nice on that.
Yeah, it feels so open in there.
Yep, and that's good.
But now I can see why some people, we keep that third bucket seat, and a lot of people just have the 2 seats. Once you see what you give up when you have 4 seats, that storage.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's a trade-off. Whatever you need, whatever you want.
Hey, there's a comment from Chris. Since it's about lunchtime, he says, "FYI, for a good cheesesteak, hit Goomba's just down 309. Does that ever sound like a good Philadelphia cheesesteak? Yeah, since we're in Pennsylvania.
Why not?
Why not? All right. Thank you. Hi, Maureen. How are you? We'll catch you all later on. This will be up on the blog and any other questions you have. And you can keep making comments on here. And as we go, we're driving. When Jennifer's driving, I'll go on and answer them. And when I'm driving, she can go on and answer as well. But thanks to Steve Fretz and the guys here.
A Roadtrek towing a car.
Hey, oh yeah, this is actually a delivery. This is let's go. Here, this is actually a brand new CS Adventurous, and the car that it's towing is the car that the driver will take back. So what am I talking about?
So you can tow a car. You can.
Oh yeah, you can see they go.
With your Roadtrek.
This is how Roadtrek delivers many of their brand new vehicles, and there's one that's now being delivered to Fretz RV. That's a brand new CS Adventurous, and the tow vehicle behind it is the vehicle that the driver will take with him, or her, I don't know who's driving that, as they go back to Ontario. So they're about 800 miles. I think they told me that whenever a delivery is within about 600 to 800 miles, they will drive it like that rather than put it on a trailer. So there you go. That's a brand new somebody's RV, a CS Adventurous that has bought one, and it's being now delivered to Fretz, and the driver will hand it over to them and get in that vehicle and drive back to Kitchener, Ontario.
All right.
So there
What
you
timing?
go. What timing? A live delivery right here on Facebook Live. All right. Linda says, love to have any kind of Roadtrek. Well, they are fun. Where are we going to go today? We're going to start heading home. But anybody have any suggestions as we're driving?
I am so close to Delaware, where I have never been to Delaware.
Delaware is just south of here.
I know.
No, we don't want to go to
You
Delaware.
don't want to make I've never been to Delaware.
I mean, you want me just to drive to Delaware and then you could say you're there and drive
Well,
back?
I guess that's kind of silly.
It's just a little state.
It
looks just like
There's only
this.
a couple states I haven't been to.
Okay, well, Delaware is one of them, and it's not far away at all. That's great. All right, everybody, thank you for being with us here on Facebook Live. It's always fun to do these kind of reports. And we'll have a post up. This will be up on the blog, and you can look at it later on. So I like Chris's idea up above, a comment about the Philadelphia cheesesteak, because I think it's time to go and do that. Why a Diesel Roadtrek versus gas? Well, I'll be answering questions here all afternoon. Why a Diesel Roadtrek versus gas? Well, the diesels are in the Sprinter-based chassis. Pulling power, if you do a lot of, it's just a lot of torque with diesel. We do a lot of traveling through mountains, and I just love the power of a diesel. You talk to diesel owners, I think every diesel owner would never go back to a gas vehicle. Now that's a preference thing. Probably most road treks are gas. We really like the diesels, and
maybe not everybody knows that we did pull a small trailer out in Colorado with our Sprinter.
Yes, we did. We actually pulled a 21-foot travel trailer with our Sprinter up and down the Rockies, so it was great. All right, Judy says, drive to Delaware, more time to check out that road trek you're trying out. You come and drive for us, Judy. I'm tired of driving. Got a long way to go. We got to be back in Michigan to pick up
Halloween,
for
huh?
Halloween.
With the granddaughters.
Halloween with the granddaughters.
And they want us to come get our dog.
Will the diesel last longer? I think they do. It's not unusual for a diesel to get 250 to 300,000 miles. So, you know, that's...
So FedEx. They use
FedEx uses the Sprinters, and that they routinely get 250, 300,000. They love them. So, and you can talk to any dealer, and they'll give you, and people will give you pros and cons. You know, there are people who like gas, people who don't think that diesel is easy to get. We've never had any problem at all. All right, hey, we really do have to go. I'm going to wear out my battery. It's been a long report, and I might have to take Jennifer to Delaware. Judy says, I should have picked her up in Michigan. She'd be glad to help. I wish I had, Judy. All right. Hey, we really thank you again. Thanks to Steve Fretz, Mike Myers here at Fretz RV. And for all of you who have watched this, it's a great way to communicate. Let me know how the Facebook video is working out. The quality should be good. And I hope you like this new gadget that I'm holding that with the iPhone 7 Plus, really a great camera on that. I've dumped the Samsung that I had, but had a great camera, but this iPhone 7 Plus camera is absolutely fantastic. And this is the DJI Amro. It is a stabilized, it has a gimbal, a 3-axis gimbal. I'm talking too much tech for most people, aren't I? Oh, well.
I think a lot of people appreciate it.
I don't know, but hopefully it's not jerky video, and we'll see it. All right, God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween. Listen to the podcast. We'll have that comes out Wednesday, and of course, lots of stuff on the blog. I'm Mike Wendland.
And Jennifer Wendland.
So long, everybody. We'll see you out there road trekking.